guys. All right, so I'm going to lead you through a basic yoga flow. So go ahead, let's get started. I'd like you to just start in a seated position like this, cross-legged. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Go ahead and close your eyes. And just start to kind of come into your space here on the mat. Let go of any thoughts that you have, right? So any kind of concerns or worries. Like let all of that just kind of start to drift off. Try and slow your mind. One of the best ways we can slow our mind is by slowing our breath and really drawing our attention to our breath. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Go ahead, open up your mouth, exhale, let it out. Do that again, deep breath in. And a big long exhale. And then seal your lips and begin to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling through your nose, using that little slight constriction at the back of your throat. So it's almost like a sound of an ocean wave. Inhaling. And then go ahead, blink your eyes open. And let's come on into a tabletop position. So we'll stack our shoulders over our wrists, our hips over our knees. Take a deep breath in as you fill your belly up with air. Lift your head, your chest. And then as you exhale, round out your back. Draw your belly button in and up. Let the crown of your head dip. Inhale, filling up, cow pose. Exhaling as you round out for your cat. So continue to move through a few of these cow-cat breaths at your own pace. Maybe you add a little movement in here. You might decide to sway your hips, moving with your breath, inhaling to the center, exhaling, bumping the hips out to the side. Just kind of feel what feels right in your body. And then come back to your neutral tabletop position. Spread your fingers apart nice and wide. And then think about your elbow creases, dialing them forward, so spiraling them forward. That's going to help to protect your shoulders, engage your lat muscles. Curl onto the balls of your feet. Take a deep breath in and use your exhale to send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So we're going to set up a good down dog. Again, feet about hip width distance apart, spreading fingers apart nice and wide. And then pressing our chest back towards our thighs. Go ahead and pedal your feet out. So maybe bend and straighten one knee and then the other. Good. Take a deep breath in. Bring your big toes together to touch. Sweep your right leg up. Point your toe. Hold it here. And then begin to bend the knee. Open up the hip so your heel is reaching down towards that left bum cheek. Your knees reaching up towards the sky. You might take some circles with your ankle, maybe even your hip. Go ahead, extend that leg back. Bring your big toes to touch, and then sweep the left leg up. Point the toe, bend your knee, open up your hip, drop that heel down. And then maybe take those circles again, whatever feels good. As you open up through the hip flexor, extend that leg back. Come back into your downward facing dog. Nice. Take a breath in. Lift your right leg up. On the exhale, step your right foot through to your right thumbnail. Drop your left knee down. So check out your knees over your ankle. And then keep that left hand planted. Sweep your right arm up. Come into a twist. Turn your gaze up towards your hand. Take another full breath in. Exhale, release that hand down. Frame your foot. Good. Curl onto the ball of your foot. Step your right foot back. Hold here in your plank pose. Maybe drop your knees. That's up to you. Take another deep breath in. Use your exhale to slowly, slowly, slowly lower all the way down onto the mat. When you get there, flip to the tops of your feet, so the shoelace sides of your feet. Okay, your hands are going to be by your chest, forehead towards the mat. Take an in breath and just lift slightly into baby cobra. So you're just going to press into the palms of your hands, press into the tops of your feet. Draw your shoulder blades together. And then exhale, release your forehead down. Good, do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. This time, maybe start to straighten your arms. You'll come into full cobra. Good, draw your chest through your arms. Then press back into your tabletop position. Curl onto the balls of your feet. Find that good downward facing dog again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. On the inhale, rise up, bend your knees, and take a walk to the front of your mat. I'm going to turn to face you. So you're going to be feet together to touch, hands framing your feet. Let your forehead reach towards your shins. And you might have a little bend in the knees here. Take a breath in as you come into your halfway lift. So our long flat back. So crown of the head is reaching forward. Tailbone is reaching back. We have a nice long spine. Exhale, fold, release. Let's do that again one more time. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and bow. On the next inhale, I'd like you to slowly roll up, stack one vertebrae upon the other. When you get to the top, you'll sweep your arms all the way up overhead. Draw your palms together. Root your heels into the earth. Reach your fingers up. Turn your gaze up. Breathe a little more deeply. Lift a little more higher. Exhale, swan dive down. Hands come to the mat. Inhale, hands come to shins. Lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back, high plank. Lower, halfway down, chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll onto the tops of your feet. Now pause here. If you can, lift your shins up, lift your knees and your thighs up so you're just pressing into your palms and the toenails. Exhale, roll over your toes. Come to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, rise, bend your knees. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, rise up, bend your knees, step to the front of your mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise, reach up way overhead. Exhale as you bow forward. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale as you plant hands, step back, high to low. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, rise, bend your knees. Exhale, step to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, rise, reach those arms way up overhead. Exhale as you bow forward. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, plant those hands, step back, high through low. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that one last time. Inhale, rise and bend. Exhale, step front of your mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, big breath. Reach those arms up overhead. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high to low. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Good. Lift your right leg up behind you. Step your right foot through for warrior number 2. So knees over the ankle, toes are pointing forward. Windmill those arms on up. Good. I'm going to move a little so you guys can see me. Knee again over ankle. So now think of yourself on a balance beam. Heel to arch alignment. One nice long balance beam. Good.
So I want you to press into the back edge of the foot. The toes on the back foot are pointing towards your left wall. Front toes to the front. So now rotate your chest and your hips to face the left wall. Extend your arms long. Turn your gaze forward. Now sit a little bit deeper if you can. Notice that my body stays perpendicular to the floor. I'm not surfing here. I'm nice and tall. Good. So now I want you to think about turning on your inner thigh muscles. So imagine that your feet are planted and they're not really moving, but like you could pull them together to meet at the center of the mat. So in that isometric hold, contraction, you're dragging your feet towards each other. My feet aren't really moving, but I'm using that sensation. So now I feel my inner thighs. And this guy, my quad right here, it's getting a little bit of a break. I can sit here a little bit longer now. So hold this, and then flip your front palm. Take a deep breath in. Let's reverse our warrior. Lift your gaze up. Keep that front knee bent. Use your exhale to come into your supported side angle. Your forearm will rest gently on your thigh. You'll reach that left arm up towards the sky, and then reach it forward. Nice and long. Fingers are reaching. Start to turn your gaze up, and as you do that, lift your heart up. Good. Make sure that you're not putting too much weight. Even lift this arm up for a second. So you're using the strength of your side body to lift, and you're twisting and you're opening up towards the sky. Stay here and just breathe deeply. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Let's take one more deep breath in. We'll rise all the way back up. Warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Setting up for our triangle pose. We're going to start to draw this right hip back. Reach the right hand forward. So creating some length here through the side body. As you reach forward, I want you to reach as far forward as you can. And then let that hand come down. Wherever it lands. Right? I don't care if your hand is way up here. I don't care if your hand comes way down here. I don't care if it doesn't touch the floor. If in order to get it to touch the floor, see how I've rolled forward? Now I'm losing the integrity of the pose. I'm starting to fold forward. I want to lift through my side body. So keep this all nice and long. And then reach that arm up nice and long. And see how I have a straight line from my right middle finger to my left middle finger. Don't draw that elbow so far back that you're torquing on or pulling on your shoulder girdle. Keep it nice and straight. And then turn your gaze upward. So we'll hold here. You should feel a stretch through here. And you'll feel a lifting up through the right side. Just stay here and breathe. And then rise on up. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn the right toe to face towards the left wall. So now both toes are turned in slightly. Your hands are going to come to your hips. You'll draw your elbows back. Press your thumbs into your low back. As you press your hips forward, dip your head back, lift your chest up. Use your exhale, fold forward. Take a moment, fold halfway down. Find that long, flat back, tailbone reaching back, crown of the head reaching forward. Pause here for a breath. And then release your hands down and come into your wide-legged forward fold. So the crown of your head will reach towards the floor. And we're going to stay here for about 10 breaths. So this might be perfect for you right here. You might decide to grab hold of your feet or your ankles or even your shins, and use that binding to help draw you a little deeper into your fold. And then while you're here, shake out your head. Make sure you're not holding on to any tension in your neck. Take a few more breaths here. Begin to walk your hands back to the center if they're not there. And then slowly rotate yourself, walking your hands to face the front of the room. Come into that runner's lunge again, right hand and left hand framing the front foot. Good, take a deep breath in, lift your heart forward. Exhale, step your right foot back to your left foot, and then just take a downward facing dog. And we're going to repeat that whole cycle on the left side. So we'll lift the left leg up. Step the left foot through, come into your warrior number 2. Good, so now I'm going to turn this way so I can be facing you. Find that good warrior 2, knee over ankle, balance beam, back toes now pointing towards the right side wall, hips and chest pointing towards the right side wall, gaze strong and steady over that front hand. Good, hold here, engage those inner thighs. So if you had a mat underneath of you, imagine you could crunch that mat up in the middle. There's that sensation again of engaging the inner thighs, dragging the feet towards one another. Sitting deeply here. Good, lift up your front toes, wiggle them. Make sure you're not gripping too tightly. And then just steady your breath. Hold here. Building strength in this warrior pose. It is so much harder to just hold these poses than it is to just constantly be moving. Harder physically, harder mentally, just to sit in that calm, steady hold. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, forearm comes gently resting on that thigh. Reach the right arm up and then forward. Spiral your palm to face the earth and then lift your gaze up, turn your heart up. Stay here and breathe. Really lengthening through that right side body, lifting through the left side body. Lift your left palm up for a moment. Make sure you're not putting any weight, very little weight into that left side. Take another full breath in. We'll rise back up to warrior number 2. Straighten the front leg, maybe shorten the stance a little. Setting up for triangle pose, draw the left hip back. Reach the left arm forward. Reach, 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 reach. How far can you reach? And then let that hand come down. Lift the right arm up. Good, one nice long straight line. Press your hips forward. Yeah, lift up through the left side. Reach that right arm up. Get nice and long. Turn your gaze upward. And then rise on up, hands coming to your hips. Turn those toes in slightly. Draw the elbows back. Lift the chest up. Good, and begin to fold forward once more as we come into that wide-legged fold.
Good, let your head come down. And I'm going to move with you a little bit here. So now we're going to take those hands and keep the hands and the feet facing towards the wall, but bend the knee a little bit. So we're going to come into a little bit of a stretch for the inner thigh. Hold it here. Walk the hands over to the other side. Same thing. Hold that pose. And then maybe add a little movement with it. Rock it from side to side. Getting into those inner thighs. Each time you might get a little deeper. You might even flex the foot as you get a little deeper into that stretch. Good. Taking it, moving with your breath. On the next one, you'll land. You're going to turn and face the front. Hands will frame the right foot. You'll step that foot back and find your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. One more breath in. Breath out. Inhale, rise up, bend your knees. Step or jump to the front of your mat. Good. Find that forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, fold forward. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. So I'm going to start a standing series, a balance series for you here. We're going to start off with a tree pose. So your right foot, actually I'll mirror you, so this is your right foot. You'll take that right foot, either bring it to your ankle, bring it to your calf, or if you can, bring it to your inner thigh. Just avoid your knee. Okay, so find something to focus on, what we call in yoga your drishti. Bring your hands to your heart center. Good, take a moment here. And if you have that balance, go ahead and bring your arms up. Hold and reach through your fingertips. Good, and continue to balance. Maybe you can find a moment where you can close your eyes. What happens? Do you wiggle? Do you wobble? Do you fall out of it? That's okay, right? We learn and we build strength through practice, through falling over. When you first learned to ride a bike, you probably fell off of it a bunch of times, but you kept getting back up and doing it again. It's embracing the journey. Good, take another deep breath. Bring your hands back to your heart if they aren't already there, and then release that foot down. Shake out your legs. Good, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left foot comes up, ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Again, find that drishti, find that balance. Hands to your heart center. Extend those arms upward. Good, stay with this.
Good, maybe close those eyes. Find what happens, right? Find your inner focus. Good. And then bring your hands back to your heart center. Release your foot, shake it out. Good. We're gonna take an airplane pose. So for airplane pose, you're gonna take your left leg and you're gonna lift it up behind you. So I'll turn sideways for this one. You'll lift that left leg up behind you. Again, find something to focus on. You'll flex your foot. So imagine you're kicking your back foot into the back wall. And now you're gonna try and keep your hips so that they're even. You're gonna try not to open up. You're gonna try and keep them even towards the ground. Reach your arms back. Spread your fingers apart. Spread your toes apart. Let your palm face downward as you kick that leg upward. Good, now find your strength. Just breathe deeply. The harder you kick, the deeper you breathe, the better your balance will be. Stay with this. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, come on back. Foot to the ground, shake it out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So left leg will lift. Start to send it back. Kick the foot, flex the foot. Imagine you're putting your footprint on that back wall. Spread your toes apart. Spread your fingers apart, palms facing down. Really kick. Breathe deeply. One side is going to be more challenging than the other. That's normal, right? We're not perfectly symmetrical. We're not all perfectly in balance. Good. Find that deep breathing. Keep kicking. Keep balancing. And then come back to center. Shake it all out. Nice job, guys. Take a deep breath in. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale as you bow forward. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, plant those hands. Take a vinyasa, so high to low. Inhale to up. Exhale to downward facing dog. And then find your way all the way down onto your back. Good, so we'll come onto our back. And we're gonna just do a little back bending series. So as you lie down, I'd like you to just bend your knees and take your fingers and brush your heels. That's a good placement for those feet to be. Press your palms into the ground, come onto your back. Good, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift your hips up off the ground. Press your palms into the ground. Good, stay here and squeeze your bum. Lift it up. Maybe you interlace your hands behind your low back. If you do, start to shimmy or rock the shoulders inward, helping to lift a little higher. Really, really press the hips up. Really squeeze the bum. We're strengthening the whole back side. So that entire posterior chain is working hard. Your hamstrings, your bum, your back, it's all working. Breathe deeply. Lift a little higher. Take one more deep breath in. Come all the way down. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. Take a deep breath in, press into your palms, lift those hips up. Stay right here, or bring those hands together, interlace them, and walk the shoulders in. Keep lifting up, keep pressing up. Take another full breath in, lift a little higher. Exhale, come all the way down. Good. Draw your knees into your chest, give them a hug. Maybe make little circles on the mat, side to side. And then lift your legs straight up overhead. Just flex your feet. Imagine you could put footprints on the ceiling. Your feet are directly over your hips. We're just going to hold here for a moment or two, allowing the blood just to flow back, gravity working in favor, giving it a rest. Letting our hearts really slow. And then draw your knees back into your chest. Give them another squeeze. Good. Drop your feet back down. Take your right leg, cross it over your left leg. For your figure four, you'll reach your hands through and grab hold of the back of the left thigh. And just hold here. Maybe take your right hand, press the right leg away. Your stretch is through your hip here. We're just going to hold it here for a few breaths. As you start to deepen that stretch, you might pull that leg in a little more. You might even hook the arms underneath.
and get a deeper stretch. It's up to you. Just make sure the entire length of your spine is on the floor. So I don't want you to lift up. I want you to stay down. And then go ahead and release this. Switch it out other side. Lift in, flex that foot, pull it in. Good, draw in. Maybe give that little left side a stretch. Pay attention to how you're feeling in your body. Notice if your hips are tight. Right, is one side a little bit tighter than the other side? Again, totally normal, right? We're all have these little imbalances. It's just that when one side becomes way tighter than the other, when we really come out of balance, that we run into problems. And the same holds true in life, right? If we spend all of our time in school working hard and studying, but we don't take time off to run around outside, talk to our friends, take a little breather, right? We get out of balance. And same thing, if you sit in front of a TV all day and you're not using your brain and you're not interacting with friends, we come out of balance and then we get depressed. Good, go ahead, release that all the way down. Bring both knees into your chest, give them a hug. Let's extend our arms out wide into a T. Drop your knees over to the right. Good. Keep both your shoulders on the ground. And then turn your gaze away from your knees. You might take your right hand and press the left thigh towards the ground. We're taking a twist. The twist is through the middle here. So important that both shoulders stay on the mat. Draw your knees back into your chest. Give them another squeeze. Open the arms out wide. Drop the knees to the left. Turn your gaze away. Maybe take that left hand and gently press the right thigh down. Draw your knees back into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Good. We'll take a happy baby before we finish off here. So for happy baby, you're going to reach to the outsides of your feet. Your knees come down towards the floor. And then you might rock a little bit because a baby never just sits still, right? It's always in motion and moving. Maybe you bend and straighten your legs a little, even getting one leg, then the other, maybe both, whatever feels good. But again, make sure you keep the entire length of your spine on the floor. So don't lift your head. Keep everything nice and long. Get out any last little wiggles that you might need. And then slowly we'll set up for our Shavasana. Legs will come apart nice and wide. Arms come away from the body, palms face upward. We allow our breathing to return to its natural rhythm. Starting to feel yourself relaxing, relaxing all the muscles in your face. Unclench your jaw, maybe move it around a little bit. And then relax your shoulders, your arms, your fingers. Allow your back and your belly to relax. Your behind, your legs, your feet, your toes, everything's just slowly melting into the mat as you come into your final resting pose, Shavasana. So at this point you can turn the video off, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. Or you can start to draw your attention back to your body, wiggle fingers and toes. I know that was a super quick Shavasana, but you guys are young, so I know it's hard to stay in that Shavasana for too long. Go ahead, draw your knees into your chest, give them a hug, and then roll over onto your right side. Take a moment here. Pay attention to how your body feels in this moment. Do you see any difference from when you first started? How do you feel in your mind, emotionally, right? How do you feel? It's really important to be in tune with those feelings. And then press into your hand, come into your seated position, cross your legs, keep your eyes closed. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Let's let the palms face upward in a gesture of gratitude, in a gesture of openness to learning, to other people's way of thinking, to being kind to each other. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open up your mouth wide, exhale. And then draw your palms together at your heart center. Take a gentle dip of your forehead towards your fingertips. Again, being grateful and thankful for all that we do already have. One more deep breath in. One more exhale. Namaste.